Duesenberg Guitars Germany was founded in 1986 by Dieter Gölsdorf, who had previously made a name in designing unique and innovative hardware parts for electric guitars. Using this knowledge, he created Duesenberg to bring an entirely new concept of tone, aesthetics, and reliability to the world of making music. This film will be taking you on a never-before-seen journey through our very own production process. You are going to see our German headquarters, as well as our very own pre-production facility in Croatia, where we will follow the making of one of the most desired instruments today, the Duesenberg Star Player TV. Varazdin is a charming small city in northern Croatia, located about 200 kilometers each way to the European Alps and the Adriatic Sea. It's also known by the nickname Little Vienna for its beautiful architectural style and has an easy way of going about life. Croatia, and especially Varazdin, have a long tradition of musical instrument making and wood manufacturing in general. This is where our state-of-the-art Duesenberg production facility resides. Making an electric guitar like the Star Player TV involves a large number of individual steps and manufacturing techniques until the finished instrument can be shipped off to our customers all around the world. Arguably, the most important and complex component in a guitar is the neck. It's the part you constantly touch and need to feel comfortable with. It's a long way to achieve the perfect neck, and it all starts with the rough cut of the wood. At Duesenberg, we almost exclusively use maple for our necks because it creates a lot of clarity and attack in the final tone of the instrument, and it also provides a lot of structural rigidity. The raw planks of maple are cut to length and planed to produce a perfectly level workpiece that can later be refined in various machining stages. Each block of maple is then cut by a skilled craftsperson to create two individual blanks that are now ready for milling. This allows us to use wood in a very efficient way and reduce overall wasted material. The Star Player TV always features a neck made from a single piece of maple. This ensures an even transfer of vibration all the way through the neck to increase sustain and overall tonal quality. The blank is then processed on one of our custom-made CNC routers that creates the truss rod channel and the rough headstock shape. In the meantime, the fretboard is being prepared. The rosewood blanks are plain, routed and fitted with bindings, side dots and fretboard inlays. We have always loved the understated appeal of simple dot inlays, so that is what most Star Player TV models come with. Once the neck blank is ready, the dual-action truss rod is set in place and the fretboard is glued on. Compared to a single-action truss rod, a dual-action truss rod allows you to actively adjust the neck in both directions, giving you tighter control over the neck relief in the final setup of the instrument. When the glue is dried, the neck is handed over to our fine-shaped CNC to receive the exact outlines, tuner holes, and neck profile. We prefer a medium D neck profile on our instruments because in our opinion, it's the best combination of playability and tonal response. Consistency in this step is important, which is why we have chosen a computer-based process compared to traditional handwork, which would naturally result in a lot of variations from neck to neck. Once the neck has been milled to shape and has received the iconic 3-step headstock design, the fretboard is sanded down to a 12-inch radius and the frets are now put in place. The next and final stage of our neck production is fine sanding. It is here where an experienced craftsperson puts the final touches on every single neck to create a perfect and super smooth surface. This process is done entirely by hand and requires a deep understanding of what the artist needs to feel when touching the neck. The making of a perfect neck is a very complex process, involving a lot of precision and technical proficiency. Much like the canvas for a painter, the neck is a guitar player's workplace and creative landscape. The amount of care that goes into this really shows in the final instrument. Next up is the body. Our Star Player TV features a semi-hollow body design with an arched top and back and bent sides. Making a semi-hollow body in this traditional style is completely different and much more complex than routing a guitar body from a solid piece of wood. The heart of this construction is the center block. It's a precisely routed piece of spruce that connects all the individual components of the instrument. Extremely low tolerances in making of the center block are important so all the components connect tightly and seamlessly. A snug fit adds the concept of unrestricted resonance transfer through the entire instrument and helps prevent unwanted feedback at higher volumes. The Star Player TV comes with a laminated spruce top and flame maple back, as well as laminated flame maple sides. Each of these components are made of many sheets of wood that are joined, laminated, and heat pressed to our own specific shape. This is also when the traditional F-hole is cut and bound with its elegant cream binding. Once all the components are ready, we can now start assembling the body. This process requires a lot of skill and experience to make sure all components line up perfectly and form a solid connection. After all the pieces have been glued in place, the body is put aside so the glue can dry properly. Next are the channels for the top and the bottom binding, which on most Star Player TVs is either a single-ply cream or a multi-ply black and white. Once the binding has been glued in place, the body is left to dry. The wetting is the stage where the neck and the body of the instrument finally meet. First, the body receives the neck pocket, which perfectly matches the neck heel shape for a super tight fit. Another important factor in the resonance transfer through the instrument. The neck is then put in place and carefully checked for a precise neck angle and alignment. This is one of the most crucial moments in the production of the Star Player TV, because mistakes done here generally cannot be fixed. Once the glue is dried, the instrument now can be prepared for the paint booth and receive another round of fine sanding. This step is done entirely by hand as well, which allows us to find all the remaining inconsistencies and create the perfect base for the following steps. The first step in the painting process is the clear base coat. This is where the instrument receives an even layer of paint primer for the following color coats. After the base coat has been left to dry, it is carefully sanded to remove any imperfections and to create a smooth base going forward. The next step is masking. On the Star Player TV, this is a particularly complicated process due to the many bindings on the body and neck. It can only be done by hand and requires a very unique set of skills and patience to do perfectly and consistently every time. It really is an art form in and of itself and can be mesmerizing to watch. Now, in the case of the Star Player TV Mike Campbell Alliance model, the top of the instrument is first painted white. This allows us to mask the famous twin stripes during the later stages of painting. The instrument is now ready to receive its iconic metallic blue color coat. Spraying a vivid finish like this again requires a lot of experience and practice by the craftsperson. One of the most satisfying steps in the production of the Star Player TV, arguably, is removing the masking after the paint coat is done. Peeling off the tape reveals super clean lines and really brings the beautiful contrast between color and bindings to life. Once that step is completed, the headstock receives the D logo and is ready for the final clear coats. We only use high-quality, durable lacquers which provide a beautiful, classy, and easy-to-maintain finish for many decades to come. You won't have to worry about it. After the paint is dried, the entire instrument receives its final treatment of superfine sanding before being polished to perfection. Polishing an object as complex as an electric guitar like the Star Player TV is very difficult. This process needs a very high level of skill to polish a very thin layer of lacquer on the guitar that also has a lot of angles and edges. The end result is a very thin, durable, high-quality finish that also has some very positive tonal properties. The entire instrument is carefully checked again for any defects in the paint and polish, and some final touches are made before the instrument is shipped off to the Duesenberg headquarters in Hannover, Germany. Hannover is a mid-sized city in northern Germany, around 90 minutes south of Hamburg. It's a city small enough to receive little attention from outsiders, yet large enough to provide you with everything you need. It's also home to one of the largest city forests in Europe, and used to be the capital for rock music back in the 80s. It is here where Duesenberg Instruments came to life in 1986, and it's still where Duesenberg headquarters and final production are located. As soon as we receive the instrument from our pre-production facility in Croatia, it is immediately handed over to our in-house CNC and PLEK department. The CNC team precisely routes out the pickup and electronic cavities, as well as all the necessary holes for later hardware mounting. We prefer routing after painting because we just love the clean edges that this approach creates. In preparation for the PLEK job, the instrument is now fitted with a special tool that generates realistic string tension on the neck. This is vital for the precise measuring process, and the instruments are stored 24 hours in this state before being measured by the PLEK team. This could be simulated by a machine, but we found the results to be less than our standard. In order to achieve low string action that is comfortable to play, but does not create any string buzz, it is important to have all the frets perfectly level. This is the task of our exceptional PLEK team. The PLEK machine precisely cuts each fret to create a perfectly level set of frets on every instrument. Every single instrument is measured and PLEKed individually to achieve perfect results. Additionally, fretboard edges are rounded off by hand, and every fret is polished to perfection by the team in this department. It is a testimony to their skillful work that every Duesenberg instrument feels perfect in your hands. We have now reached the final stage in making a Star Player TV. Although all previous stages in production have aimed at providing consistency and perfection, an electric guitar is still an analog instrument, and the wood is still a natural material. No two instruments are ever 100% alike, and we always balance the difference during our multi-hour long setup and assembly process. Duesenberg hardware parts are the result of more than 40 years of experience in hardware design and constant refinement. Every single piece is designed by us and is only used on a Duesenberg instrument. Our hardware is easily recognized by our three-step design concept, which you can see on all our hardware parts, the headstock, and even the logo. This is a theme that is derived from the classic Art Deco design era, and it makes our instrument truly unique. But a great guitar is not only about looks. Our tremolo units are fitted with extra smooth steel needle and nylon bearings, which makes it the most reliable classic design tremolo on the market. Our bridge uses a 3-contact point saddle design, which eliminates wobble and maximizes the transfer of vibration from strings to the body of the guitar. Our tuners allow you to hide the sharp string ends inside the tuner shaft so you don't damage your case, your bag, or your fingertips. Our pickups use silver nickel components and a special coil wire to deliver as many frequencies to the output jack as possible. This all is a part of our mission to make an instrument that can be a companion for life. Our skilled team of luthiers is now tasked with making every single one of our instruments feel perfect in your hands. Assembly and setup can make or break a great instrument, which is why we take this step very seriously. A perfect setup in the sense of reaching a level of playability that is not limiting and instead providing ultimate freedom to the artist is the job of a true master. Another aspect that makes the production of our instruments so special is that from this point on, every guitar is assembled and set up and fine-tuned by a single luthier, who also leaves a handwritten signature inside the instrument. This also allows the luthier to really get to know the individual instrument and make the necessary adjustments along the way. Before the hardware is fitted, the luthier performs a feel check and refines the instrument down to the finest details. It is now time to cut the nut. People often pay little attention to the nut, but it literally is one of the most important components on any guitar. It affects the playability and tuning stability in a big way, and cutting it perfectly requires a lot of patience, precision, and practice. Before any of the hardware is fitted, the guitar is polished one last time to remove any fingerprints or wear marks. We are now ready to put all the pieces together. The tuners are fitted and aligned precisely. The pickups are put in place and the electronics are wired, and all the remaining hardware components are carefully installed. The guitar is now ready for setup. Our setup always aims to reach the ideal tonal properties while balancing with the playability of the instrument. For example, there's a very certain height in which a pickup delivers maximum tone before starting to affect the vibration of the strings in a negative way. It's fine-tuning like this, down to the finest details, that ultimately creates the famous Duesenberg tone and feel. The final act of making a Star Player TV is a thorough check by doing what it was made for, playing it. A Duesenberg instrument is not done before the luthier has gone through this check and approves the instrument with his signature. This process is what makes all the difference in the world, and it's what the luthier department delivers every single time. Before the instrument is shipped off to the new owner, one last inspection is done in our QC and shipping department. The instrument is carefully checked for any cosmetic imperfections, and all the paperwork that is individual to each instrument is being printed. Along with some goodies and accessories, the instrument is then carefully placed inside the included heavy-duty case and packed for shipping. This is where our journey ends and yours begins. A Duesenberg instrument is an investment for life, an instrument not only for the experienced player, but also for those who want to continually grow with their instrument for a lifetime. That is why we build Duesenberg, to always bring out the best in you. We are musicians. We are loyal to the steel strings. We love the major, the minor, the powerful fifth, the dominant seventh, and adding the ninth. We have been in rehearsal rooms, and we have paid a visit to some stages. We know what it takes to trust in an instrument every night. We make them because we love to fall for the lively tunes, the clever rhythms, and the heavy riffs. We make them beautiful to inspire, even when they're resting on the wall. We play them the nights we cannot sleep, and every artist needs a canvas, so we make yours. We are Duesenberg.